Hi everyone, this is IM Sagar Shah, and I am right now at my home in Mumbai, and it's my 29th birthday. You see, I came back from Pune attending my brother in law's wedding, Prathamesh Mokal's wedding, and it was really cold there. So you can see, like, my lips are all swollen, and that's the situation here. But thank you all for coming out today and joining me. I see that the number of people joining in on the live chat is increasing. I hope that you can hear my voice clearly. There's no real fixed agenda for today's session, but the reason I'm doing this is because I want you to ask me questions, and at the same time, I want to share a few things with you. I think that in general, there is a lot of uh, wrong knowledge that is being spread in the chess world. There is also people who are misguiding players for their personal gain. And with this session, I would like to bust a few myths, and I would like to speak about a few topics that are very important. Uh, but the best way to go about this would be to ask your questions in the chat, and together we will be able to talk through it. Now, what I also would like to do with this show is to support two grandmasters of Indian chess who became GMs in 2019. 59th GM of India, Visakh NR, right on top of your screen, and Gukesh D below him. They both have worked tremendously hard and become GMs in 2019 on 15th of January, and we are raising funds for them. In the description below, you will find links to contribute, and all the money that you contribute will be divided between both of them. Remember that both of them are very active players, and the money that you will be giving them will be used for something very, very important in their life, which is to pursue their chess career. So please do contribute, and let's get going. Yeah. So let's begin with the questions. First of all, I see that the first question is by Akshit Jha, who says how to improve concentration. And a very, very nice question to begin, because you know, as a chess player, as a serious chess player, I wanted to my concentration to be precise, to be perfect, and I did so many things for it. I remember that at before the game, I used to many times sit like this. I used to close my eyes, I used to focus and take deep breaths inside. It used to be nervous, but I used to try to focus. Then the next thing was I would start looking at each and every square on the board, like this over here. For example, if this is the game, then I would look at each piece to ensure that I'm concentrating on them. And then I would also look at opponents' pieces. Then I did a course of Art of Living, in which they taught us to concentrate and Sudarshan Kriya, and I used to do it before the game. Um, all of this was useful. I understand that all of this helped me to calm my mind down many times. But what I realized was that the most important thing was having the willpower. For example, I don't know if Magnus Carlsen meditates. Top players do it. Perhaps they do, perhaps they don't. Anand says he indulges in yoga, but maybe not every time. The point is, when you sit at the board, you should be so focused and you should have so much willpower that many times this is what will help you concentrate. You want to play your best chess, and what you do before the game or after the game can only help you a bit, but during the game, if you have your concentration in there, your willpower, I think that's the most important thing. So different things work for different people. I cannot really say that do yoga, do Art of Living course, do this focus before the round. I see a lot of top players closing their eyes before the game, but it's just different ways. So I hope that you will find your own way in which you can get into your zone. Okay. Jinsar Ali says chessbase premium or chess.com premium. Well, this is an interesting question, and I have been trying to answer this very truthfully until now. The most important thing is that chess.com membership is expensive, more expensive than chessbase India chessbase premium membership. So chess.com, I don't know, it was $100, perhaps they reduced it recently for India to half. Still it's 3,300 or 3,500, while chessbase premium account for a year is 1,500 rupees. Secondly, I do think that there are features like the live database, where the moment you make a move, it shows you all the games that have been played over the years. This is not possible to access anywhere, so I would say that there are certain features in chessbase which are just, you don't get it anywhere. I also think that chess.com has very nice features, so taking nothing away from them, but yeah, I think value for money is chessbase premium membership. Okay. Nikunj Naliadhara says, which is your favorite opening as white? It's a difficult question. Again, let me just tell you something which I have been through over the years. I started off when I was young with knight f3. My coach told me that, look, if you play knight f3, g3, okay, let's just make random moves for black, bishop g2, and then castle, you are making some kind of a house, and you won't get checkmated very soon. And that's how I began. I played my first national championship under 12 in Chennai. I think it was 2002, this way. And bad advice, I would say, because when you're young, you should be playing open games. You should be trying to start off with e4, or you should be starting off with d4. And because I started off with knight f3, it kind of hampered my development in many ways. Soon I started playing d4, which I think was good. Then later on I shifted to c4, which I think I have had good results in the English. Then I now have again gone back to knight f3. But I would say that there is no real perfect opening as such, or my favorite opening, but I've really started liking main lines. Unless you don't play the main lines, you will not be a good player. This is for sure. I have a firm belief in this. If ever I start playing chess again, I want to start playing e4 on move 1. This is something I haven't done much, maybe 3 or 4 games, and this has been a hole in my chess education, you can say, and I want to play it, I want to feel it. So there was this famous incident where one of the students came and asked the coach, do you know that Richard Rapport opens his game with b3? Do you know Bahadur Jobawa plays it? So why can't I do it? And the coach said, because they know everything in e4 and d4, and then they have gone on to play b3, and then that's how they are good at it. While what you want to do is you want to straight away start playing b3, you want to straight away start playing f4, or you want to straight away start playing some sidelines like say g3 or something like that. First learn the classical openings, first learn the main lines, and then you can play some different lines that should be pretty good. Okay, I hope that answered my question. Pradeep Kanetkar, hi to you. Devi Prasad Nayak, thank you so much for your birthday wishes. Harshit Vij says, why didn't you come to Delhi Chess Open 2019? I think I missed a lot out there by not coming there. For a couple of reasons. First of all, as you know, our 1 year nomadic journey ended in around November and December, beginning of 2018. Still rattled a bit trying to find a house to stay in. So that has been one of our most important things that we are trying to do. Yeah, we did find a place on rent, so we will be shifting there. And the other reason was Frederick Friedel, the founder of Chessbase, was here in India, and I was traveling with him in Mumbai and then to Bangalore, and that's the reason why I couldn't make it. Okay, so Indu Dhar Appu says, please suggest some good books for improvement of the game. Okay, this is a question which I think will be asked in every session that I'll do, and I think it's very important because books, DVDs, all of this are extremely important. So I personally think that the book which made a huge impact on me was Jeremy Silman's Reassess Your Chess. I have said it numerous times and I'll repeat it. And the reason is that when the opening used to get over, something like, let's just take for example a position. I'm going to just randomly set up a position here, say this one, okay, and I'm going to make one more move, for example this. Now someone gives you a position like this. What do? How do you start? How do you think in such a position? When I was young, I didn't know what to do here, but then as I became better, I think when I read Silman's book, I started to understand that to evaluate any position, you can do it by his method, which is the method of imbalances. So what Silman says is material in chess. First of all, count the material. So when I count the material, I realize that white has 4 minor pieces, 7 pawns. Black has only 3 minor pieces and 8 pawns. So okay, there we have an imbalance right there. So white is materially ahead. Okay. What's next is the minor pieces. In this position, I wouldn't say really minor pieces are important, but sometimes you have a bishop for a knight, and that's when you need an open position and it becomes very important. Then you have the space. Now space is extremely important, and black is doing phenomenally well because of these pawns on c4 and d3. So I would say black has the space advantage. After that, you move on to pawn structure. Again, it's a very weird pawn structure, but you kind of realize that black has this nice pawn structure. He would like to at some point play e5, e4. And then you have these two dynamic features, which is in any given position, you talk about development. And you realize that for white to develop his pieces is very difficult because of these pawns. Even the bishop here is passive. While black would be able to develop his pieces pretty quickly if he moves his e-pawn, and then he would be able to develop his pieces. And lastly, there is initiative. So who is to move? Now this is important because in this position, if it is white to move, he might just exchange the queens, but it's black to move. And I made some move here in this position, which is not so important what move is made. But you see, when we spoke about the imbalances, these 7 odd features, we started to understand this position much better. We started to realize that these pawns are very strong. White is suffering from, although materially up, he's suffering from lack of space. And once you realize this with white, and let's say queen b8 was played in this position, I played it. Then as white, you start to think, okay, knight is hanging. Should I save it? In the game, my opponent played knight d5, but you can just take knight d3 and say to yourself, okay, this is much better. I can now be happy. I've given back the piece, but I've killed those 2 important pawns. And from a very, very unknown position, I could find my way in less than say 2-3 minutes because of this imbalance technique. What the imbalance technique basically says is, look at the differences in the position, enumerate them, look at your own positive imbalances and try to build upon them. And I found this very useful. It was a tough process to learn all of these imbalances, to memorize them. And but now you could see that, I don't even remember these imbalances. It becomes so much a part of me. I've done it again and again. It's like learning and then unlearning it, and then it becomes a part of you. This is what happened with me, and now I can really look at any position, try to think in these terms quickly, and come to a good conclusion. So I would highly recommend the Reassess Your Chess book by Silman. Right now we have the Endgame course in Chess Base India shop, but we are looking to get that book as well. So you could have a look at there. So Indudar, I hope that this book suits your requirements. The level I would say is roughly from 1200 to 2200. Everyone can gain something out of it. And yes, Dvoretsky's Endgame Manual is a good endgame book, but there are also interesting ones like Endgame, Silman's Complete Endgame Course, which we have, and also 100 Endgames You Must Know by Jesus de la Villa. These are the nice endgame books. If you are an advanced player, go for Jakob Agard's Grandmaster Preparation Series, and you could also go for Dvoretsky's books. I found them so very useful. All of them, Dvoretsky's books, Secrets of Chess Excellence, Secrets of... There were many books, School of Chess Excellence. He wrote so many books, and all of them are outstanding. So these are the books I would recommend you guys to go through. Anjana Tiwari, thank you so much for your birthday wishes. Arnav Maheshwari says, what 1800 rating player who is age 12 and wants to become better? Let's take this question as one of the most important questions of this session. His age is 12, his rating is 1800, but it could very much be that a viewer who is here, his age is 15 and he's 1200, or someone's age is 20 and he's unrated. How do you improve in chess, and what should you be doing? I see a lot of people giving up everything in their life to pursue a chess career. I see people who don't give up anything and still want to pursue chess career. There are so many different kinds of people. But for any player like Arnav, who is ambitious, I would say the most important thing is to analyze your games. If you can't analyze your games, then you would never ever improve at chess. Because, never ever improve is again a very general statement. You will improve in some way if you're working hard, but the fastest way to improve is to look at your games. Because just imagine, now I played a game, I made a mistake and I lost. Most of the people would be depressed and sad about this thing, and then it affects their next round, perhaps their next tournament, whatnot. But what if you saved your game, okay, and then you analyzed it? And how to analyze is again a very big question which we can attend to if we have time here. But if you start following this, that you play a game, you save a game, you analyze it, you find your mistakes and you try to fix them, then you again play a game, you analyze it, you find your mistakes, fix them, I think you will start improving very quickly. And this is really the case. For example, I somehow realized this very late in my life, that I should be analyzing my games very seriously, and that my games are really my true wealth. Not that I should study thousands of books. There are so many books out there. I used to be so excited to read Silman's book or Dvoretsky's book or so and so book. And when someone would say, let's analyze your game, I would be like, oh, leave it. It's just so many mistakes in there. I don't want to even look at it. But this is what is the true gem. For example, I'll show you the start of my game here. This is my game, by the way. One of my favorite games. I was playing black against Luke Henris, who is a 2153 player, and this was played in 2015 at the Lille Open. I was black, and this is where I made my second GM norm. And this was the second round, and I knew that my player was the author of this book called, what was it, on the Albin counter gambit, which starts with d4, d5, c4, e5. He was aggressive, so I decided I'll be very solid and I'll play e4, c6. I'm not going to venture into anything like Sicilian or something. And he played knight e2. I was already a bit surprised, and I went d5, e5, and if black can get, say, d4, or if I play bishop f5, knight g3, this is all well-known theory and is supposed to be good for white. So I went d4. I wanted to stop his d4, and then he went c3. I said no, I'm not going to give up my d4 pawn. c5, fixing that pawn, and he said, come on, I want your pawns. So he played b4, and I remember a game by Vidit where he took cb4. Vidit is a smart guy, you saw him play at Vaikanse. He's playing tremendous chess. I'm not so smart. I was like, wow, let me push my pawns inside. So he went knight f4, attacking the pawn, and I said, well, look at this. Okay, look at what I did this is 6 moves. So I played c6, d5, d4, c5, d3, c4. So I just pushed my pawns all through, and here my opponent played e6. And I was thinking on the board, I was thinking like, what should I do here? If I play bishop into e6, he will play knight e6, fe6. This just doesn't look good. My pawns look weak and my bishop is boxed in. I don't like it. Then I started thinking, no, I shouldn't take this pawn. I should do something else. I was thinking of the move g5, and then suddenly I thought to myself, queen h5 perhaps might come. So many things happening, and mind was really getting overcharged. Especially you start thinking, my god, my opponent is a very creative player. He has prepared this stuff, or what not. And so I just thought a lot, and I said, let me develop my knight. I played knight to f6, and I said, well, let's develop and see. If he takes e into f7, I'll take back with my king, then I'll play e5. I have a wonderful position, and this is a good strong move because I'm stopping his main idea with queen to h5. Of course, I had missed something terrible, and I would like to ask the viewers here, what is it that I had missed? I'll come back to all the questions. Arnav, I'm still on your question. So, but people, what do you think should white be playing? By the way, on this chat right now, the last message that I see is from Frederick Friedel, about whom I just spoke about at the start of the talk. Frederick, thank you so much for coming live and viewing this. I would like to tell the viewers that Frederick is a legend in the chess world. He is the one who founded ChessBase, revolutionized the chess world in a way, because there were no longer chess books that were the only material, and then databases came in. And so to have him online right now, and he is a person who's taught me immensely about writing in chess, about how to become a better writer, and so many different things about communication and stuff. So Frederick, it's a big honor to have you here. And so while I was talking about Frederick, we have a lot of people who have said the answers. Sanjeev Gunin, Anudeep Anup, Lucky Verma, and also Mayur Gondalekar is here. By the way, there's a video on him. He's supporting Indian chess in a big way. And all of you, Varin Gada, Sanjeev Gunin, Akshit Jha, all of them say Pradeep Kanetkar, Queen A4 check. Fantastic. And I was simply shocked when I saw this move. I didn't miss it, by the way, but I was looking at this side of the board, e6, fe6, queen h5, and I just made my move, and he played queen a4 check. Now let's just see what happened, because what should black play here is the question to you, and I would like to know what would you do here. It's black to play. Okay, so while you are thinking about what to do as black, just put yourself in my shoes. Okay, I've traveled all the way from India to France, in Lille, a small city in France on the border of Belgium, and I'm sitting there in the second round against a player who's rated 300 points below me, and I've just blundered this move. What should I do? So that's the point. Okay, so I have Hemal Dodal, Ritik Chakrabarti, Lucky Verma, Ashish Raj Singh, who says knight to c6 in this position. Okay, uh, Mayur Gondalekar adds here, and I would like to say Mr. Friedel has also created a lot of world champions. A lot of pre-Carlsen ones have stayed at his place. Yes, you're right. And when I went to his house and I went into the room, which he said that this is your room for the days you're going to stay here, uh, I realized that I was going to sleep on the same bed where Anand, Kasparov, and many more, Nigel Short, and many top players had slept. So, that's the thing. Okay. So, Pradeep Kanetkar, Akshit Jha, Mahesh Parab say knight to d7, and also Arnav Maheshwari. Nice, Arnav, you're still here. Um, you didn't go away. I'm still answering your question, by the way. And to all those who said knight to c6, there's a problem here, because you play b5, and then I need to move my knight, for example knight e5, and then you play b6, there's a check here, you have to come back, and then I take, and then this guy falls, like my pride of the position. These two are the gems, these are my gems. I can't let it go. If I play b5, move the knight and come back, oh my god, I can't let this happen. So I was so nervous at this point, and I said to myself, look, these pawns are not going anywhere. They limit this bishop, and this knight. So I'm going to give up my piece. So all of you who said knight d7, well done. Takes and bishop d7, and this is where after queen a5 is the position we were discussing. But you see how I came to it. Now, let's imagine you're looking at this game as a third person. You'd never understand this entire story behind it. I would say, even if it was your game and you looked at it after, say, 3 years or 4 years, you will hardly remember stuff. The most important thing is for you to write down your emotions, not just the variations, but also the emotions when you're playing and you blundered. So for example, in this position, I have written down in my notes that seeing all the threats like queen f3 in this position, e into f7, queen h5, I completely forgot about queen a4 check, and I played my knight to f6. And when he gave a queen a4 check, I was shocked. And this is the thing which I should be working on now. Now this game is over. I'll show you the end of the game as the time progresses in this today's session. But it's a very bad thing that happened with me. Although knight d7, e d7, bishop d7, I have compensation, I had missed something very big in the position. And that's the reason why I should work on it. Whenever my opponent plays a move like e6, I should immediately not just look at one part of the board, which is here, here, and here, but also look at this side. And this is something very basic. You will say, of course you should do this, but people are just not able to do it. And for that, you have to constantly analyze your games. You have to save your analysis. You have to use tools to save it and to go over them again and again. So Arnav, who is here, I hope you understand my point. My point is, play your game and analyze them very deeply. Use chess base to save your games. I'm not saying because this is Chess Base India. I'm saying because it's the best way to keep your games. Right now, I have 1033 games in my annotated games database. Anyone who has more than me, just please write down in the chat. But I have 1033 games and I have annotated nearly 500 of them since I had this knowledge that I must analyze the games. And it has helped me tremendously. I see all these talented players in Indian chess who are struggling to make their GM norms, and someone like me, not so talented, I've made two GM norms. How? I think it has to do with a lot of things that I kept on working on my games, on my analysis. I hope that I am not a great player. I hope that I can become a GM someday. But from this, you can at least take that game analysis is extremely important. So I hope that I have answered this question of yours. Let me go back here. By the way, a big shout out to Nikhil Dikshit, who's contributed 20 rupees here. Nikhil, I must tell all the viewers, a thoroughly inspiring figure in Indian chess. His age is something around 20, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he's younger than that. He is rated around 2250. He has one IM norm. If you just type his name, Nikhil Dikshit, Chess Base India, on YouTube, you will find his interview. But he cannot see through one of his eyes. And he cannot do that, yet he's fighting hard and a tremendous chess player. I welcome Nikhil. I met him yesterday in Pune where he was playing a tournament, and today he's contributed here. Thanks a lot, Nikhil, for contributing. It means a lot to us. And I would like to remind the viewers who all are enjoying this show, if you are enjoying it, go down in the description after this lecture, after this session, and click on that link of Pay You Money, where you can support these two grandmasters of Indian chess who have become GMs in 2019. Visakh on the top, Gukesh at bottom. Whatever money you pay us will be contributed to them to become stronger players. They will use it, and I think they both are very ambitious. I interviewed both of them. By the way, Visakh's interview is on the way, should be published in a day or two. They both want to reach 2600, 2700 and onwards. I think we should support them more than the amount of money. They will feel like Indian chess is supporting them, this is celebrating their achievement. So guys, please support them. And okay, let's move on. I hope Arnav, you have something to work upon on this. Okay, Janil Patel says happy birthday. Thanks a lot, Janil. Pradeep Kanetkar, how to make preparation of openings? Okay, that's an important question as well. How to prepare openings? And I would like to say that there are many ways, in different ways in which you can do it. But the thing which I like the most and which I will suggest is, don't take a book. Like for example, I can see no chess books here right now. I'm at home right now, not in the Chess Base India office. Otherwise, I would have had a lot of books around me. Take an opening you want to play. For example, let's say you want to play the Sicilian Najdorf. Okay. So if you want to play the Sicilian Najdorf, then let me just get this board here. So you want to play the Sicilian Najdorf, you have now certain options. The opening moves. So d4 takes knight d4, knight c3, a6, and you say, I want to learn the most important opening that has ever been played, and this is the most interesting one with a lot of theory. So one way to go about this opening would be to pick up any book or DVD and learn it. You read it. There is a DVD by Victor Bologan on this subject, by Daniel King. There are so many books written about it. Kasparov has talked about Najdorf. There's a DVD by him. Fischer has so many games. But the thing is, if you want to play an opening, you need to do the method which goes something like, you try it out first. So you go to play chess, some online platform. It could be chess.com, it could be Lee Chess, it could be anything. You play on any online platform and you start playing blitz games. Okay, so you start playing blitz games. For example, your opponent plays bishop e2, e5, knight f5, and now suddenly you start to say to yourself, knight f5, should I play d5 here? Because if he plays knight d5, I'll take the bishop into knight. Or should I take knight into e4 here? Because then knight into e4 I will play bishop f5. Or should I do knight into g7 here? And your brain starts to get oiled and it starts working in this position. And then when the game is over, you start to analyze it. For example, knight f5 on chessbase, there is this feature called reference. I click here and I start to see what are the moves that have been played in this position. And I realize that look, d5 is the best move in this position because it scores 32.8 for white, which is very low. So I will look at the move d5 and then I can click on elo black and I say, there's a game of Grishchuk. Let me see what happened. Bishop g5 was played, then d4 was played, knight d5 came here. Sorry, not knight d5, but bishop f6 was played. Then bishop queen into f6, knight d5, and then queen d8. And I've already learned something very important in the Najdorf. The point is that knight f5 is not really played much, but my opponent in blitz played it. It helped my knowledge. And let's say you do this for over a period of 10 to 12 days. You are playing these different kinds of blitz games on Najdorf and then analyzing the game, looking at the reference function. You've already built a good knowledge of the opening without anyone teaching it to you. And then you pick up the book or the DVD and look at how quickly you run through it. You're like, yeah, I know this. This happened in this blitz game. This happened in this blitz game. And suddenly everything starts coming together. This is how I think you should be working on openings. This is my personal opinion. There are so many different ways to work through it. But remember, play the main lines. Often main lines take a lot of time to learn. You will be like, main lines, I can't really do this. There's so much theory. This entire book I need to read. But the funny thing is you need to begin. Once you start, you will realize main lines have so many different possibilities. There's so much you can learn. You can trick your opponent. Once you begin, you are in the world which is many top players are also playing it. So you are actually playing those openings which Anand, Carlsen, Karyakin, Aronian, all these top players are playing. And then you can actually learn from their games. You can improve from their games. There's a lot. So my suggestion is, if you want to play sidelines, first learn the main lines and then go to the sidelines. Okay, a lot of knowledge here. By the way, just while we were talking, Pranav Vaidya has shouted out, and I would like to say hi to Raghav and Pranav. They are viewing this all the way from London. When I was in London, I stayed in their house. Wonderful people. Thank you for joining in over here. Okay, and again a small shout out to people who have contributed here through the super chat. Rohit Kumar has contributed 20 rupees. Thank you so much. Inderjeet K has done it. Thanks a lot, Inderjeet, for doing this. Truly appreciate you spending 200 rupees over here. Okay, let me go back and see if there are more questions, because I'm going from the top, and so there are so many questions that have been asked. I don't know if I'll be able to go through all of them because I'm trying to be very specific with answering all the questions. Okay, so Arnav is done. Pradeep Kanetkar, Vikram Vishwanathan, thank you so much for your wishes. Divya Prabha, welcome to the show. Selva 007, thank you for your wishes. Also, Rajesh Upadhyay, thanks a lot. By the way, Rajesh Upadhyay is someone who lives in Mumbai, and I have heard great things about him. I've played with him, but he was in the Air Force, if I'm not mistaken, and he is now in Mumbai as a coach. He's trying to build up the talents of the city. Very, very disciplined and a nice person. So, Rajesh, thanks for being here. Kaustub Agashe says, how can an 1800 player move to 2100? Any strategy or training technique? Well, Kaustub, I think what we discussed with Arnav's question, analyzing your own games, is one of the most critical things that you can do. And this is something which, when you feel the importance of it from within, not that you're listening to this and then you say, okay, Sagar said I should analyze the game, tomorrow I will sit, and when you start to analyze you start to doze off. No, when you start believing in it. I know when I asked Shashi Kiran back in 2012 what should I do to improve, he told me analyze your games. I didn't understand that, the passion with which he was saying. I didn't understand it at that point. And you can't do anything. You will understand it at some point, and when you do, you will take it so seriously and you will improve faster. So let's say if you can bring that seriousness in you, then that would be great. Okay, so Shankar Salunke, happy birthday. Thank you so much. Santosh Ganganayak, thank you so much for your wishes. Shreya Bang says, chess is my favorite game. I also have enough knowledge about it, but I didn't any platform. What should I do? Well, Shreya, if you don't have any platform, this is one of it, Chess Base India. Always reach out to us if you want any help. These are the live shows which I intend to do regularly. Secondly, write to chessbaseindia@gmail.com if you have any questions. And this could be anything. I sit down on many days and I answer everyone who's written. So please send in your queries if you have any. If they are genuine ones, I would like to reply to them. So don't worry if you don't have a platform. This is where we want to come in and help you. Okay. Pradeep Kanetkar says, in your recent video you said that you are a CA. How you managed your studies and chess? Give guidelines because I'm in 12th. Yeah, this is something unique to me, and I can always boast of that I'm a CA and also an IM. CA is a difficult course, but I managed to clear it on the first attempt. Nothing great about it, because as a chess player I found that I could concentrate for long periods of time, and while the other CA students who used to study with me used to take breaks every now and then, okay, let's go for tea and something like that, I used to keep studying for 4 hours, 5 hours, and it helped me, and I managed to clear it pretty easily. I think I missed rank by a few marks. So one thing which I realized is that I didn't take that jump that I want to leave education. I kept a balance between my chess career and also my education, but I don't know if this is the right way to do things or this is not. To each his own. This is what is very important. Remember, if there's someone who's giving you advice saying you can't do it, this is not the way, then maybe he's not giving you the right advice. Because I clearly remember when there was a very prominent coach who came to our house. I was around 2200 and I was doing my CA Inter. This was IPCC. And my father asked him, can he become a GM and can he become a CA? And he said, no, it's not possible. And it was a big shock to me, that those words. I have to choose either chess or education. But there's this thing in me, and I said, no, let me prove him wrong. Let me try to study as well. Let me try to play chess, because I wanted to do both. It was not just to prove him wrong. And yes, I did it. Of course, I didn't become a GM yet, but that has nothing to do with CA examination. I mean, this is more to do because started Chess Base India and we started working for Indian chess. But if, let's say, it continued, perhaps I would have been a GM. So if someone says it's not possible, then don't listen to them. it could be possible. What you have to keep in mind is that you have to be truthful to what you like. For example, I enjoyed CA studies very much, and when I was studying, I used to burn the midnight oil and learn about costing, about financial accounting, and it was enjoyable. So I cleared it. I loved chess, I studied it, I loved all phases of it, and so I became better at it. If you enjoy it, do it. If you don't enjoy education, well, perhaps you love chess more. Take that decision in this way. If you enjoy education more and chess is becoming a drag, for many people, there's pressure and there's so many things, still they want to play chess, then, be careful over there. Try to come out of the chess world. So, this is my advice to you. Okay. Bhavya Dave, thanks for your wishes. Janil Patel is asking for book suggestions. Well, Janil, I have spoken about Silman's course, so please go back and listen to it. Okay, let's just see. There are many questions here, but I'm trying to answer them. Samarth Bhatt says d4 or e4. Very tough question. I wouldn't choose either of them, but I would say that if you are an ambitious player, then try to learn both at some point. You can start with one. For example, you can start with e4 if you like open games, aggressive chess, or with d4 if you are positional player. But at the right moment, you have to learn both the openings, because look at any top player. Vishy Anand, he plays both. Magnus Carlsen, he plays both. Even Indian chess, Hari Krishna, Vidit, Adhiban, Sethuraman, take any of them, they can serve with both hands, e4 and d4. So in the long run, you must learn both. Okay. What would you say for unrated players on achieving their rating? What would you suggest for unrated players? Nothing special. I would say just try to learn. This question was asked by Avinash Avi. First of all, look at your games. If you go to a tournament and you play the game, I cannot suggest something randomly. You need to see where are you going wrong. Are you making mistakes in the opening? Then you need to study openings for the beginners. These opening books like Winning Chess Openings by Yasser Sairavan. This series is very good of books. If you are making mistakes in the endgame, go for some endgame book like Silman's Complete Endgame course. If you're making mistakes in the middle game, you're missing out tactics, then solve tactics. There's so many books out there for tactics. But keep in mind what you are not good at. Try to work on that as well. And this can be done only if you look at your games. So in that sense, I would say, Avinash, the right way for you to become a rated player is to fix your weaknesses, and you will keep improving. Okay, NFC say, that is Akash. Hi to you. Shant Kumar Gudla, thank you so much for your wishes. Anand Gotmare says, which is your favorite book? I have said Reassess Your Chess, but I would like to add one more. It's called 62 Most Instructive Games of Chess Ever Played by Irving Chernev. Beautiful book. Not too many deep analysis, but the games are so nice. And I have memories of that, sitting in a dark room with a tube light on top, with a chessboard, and I was playing through the moves, and each game was so beautiful. Recommended. Try to have a look at that game. And you don't even need that book. If you can somehow you can get the names of the games from that book and look it up in your mega database. But just that book is wonderful. If you can get it, yeah, that would be nice. Okay, Aditya Jambekar, how to make chess a sport like cricket in India, or is it not possible? Well, Aditya, this is what we are trying, and this is what is my dream. If you have any suggestions, tell us. I know that it's possible. I know that it has to become more spectator friendly. More people should become chess literate. It's a long process. You have to teach chess to many people. It's a beautiful game. You have to make it more attractive. You need to have better commentary in chess. So many things that need to be done, but it is possible, and we're going to work on it. And if you are with us, that would be wonderful. Okay. Nikunj Nalyadhara says solving a lot of puzzles and playing a lot of chess games. In these two options, which is more important? Well, I would say that both are important, because for example, let's say you play a lot of games, be it blitz or classical, but if you don't analyze them, there's no point in that. But if you keep solving tactics and don't really play tournaments, that may also not work. So a balance of the two would be very nice. And analyzing games many times is like solving a position, because you are analyzing it. So maybe game analysis, playing a tournament and then analyzing your games, can be a very good way to improve. Okay. Dhanalakshmi Muthugopal says, do you like Queen's Gambit declined or accepted? I like Queen's Gambit declined. This is nice. E6 classical. D into C4, I'm giving up the center. But these are all just small things. I like QGD, but well, QGA is perfectly good game. Okay, Justin Gardner is here. By the way, Justin is from HOT Chess Academy, Hot Chess Academy in USA. And a very good friend of ours. Justin, thank you for being here. Any chance you'll be joining GM Agard and Ramesh for the coaching lineup at Quality Chess Camp in May 2019 in Crete? Well, Jakob Agard had been telling me that you should try to come there, and I need to speak with him. I would be very happy if I can come there as a student, if that works out, or as some kind of a lecturer or something. I don't know. There's nothing planned as yet, but I think it will be a nice camp, because Ramesh is great, Jakob is wonderful, and all those who are looking for it, try to plan that coaching camp along with a relaxing, it's in Crete in Greece, this beautiful island. You will enjoy your time. Okay. Christopher, what's your favorite game ever that you played? This one against Luke Henris. Should I finish this game? I know there are a lot of questions out there, but let me finish this game. This is my favorite game. We reached here. Luke played Queen A5, and I have told you he's an aggressive player. He likes to attack. So in that way, when he played his Queen to A5, I said, no, now this game I'm going to be the one who's attacking. I played Queen B8. I attacked his knight. And the funny thing is, he could have taken this pawn here, CD3, bishop D3, and I would have played E5, and I think I have decent compensation. The position remains complicated. I'll play my bishop out to D6 and then short castle. I'm happy. But what happens is, when you're ahead in material, you don't want to give it up. You want to be like, no, this is my piece, I want to be careful. And so he played knight to D5. Okay, now the question here to all of you is, what should black play? Try to think here. I would give you like a couple of seconds here, not too much time. We shouldn't be spending too much time. I should be taking more questions. I'm swiping my mobile phone here, and I'm seeing there's a huge list of questions. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to go through all of them. Please excuse me, but I'm going to show you this game. And while we are analyzing this, just try to find out what should black play. I have Sagar Chess who says E6, Mayur Gondadekar who says B6. Okay. Saurabh says Queen E5, Ashutosh Agarwal says Knight E5, Shantosh Kutharu B6, Sanjeev Gunin Queen E5. There's this GM Vidit Gujarati who's constantly writing, who is not Vidit Gujarati, by the way. You are not Vidit. If you are Vidit Gujarati, you would be flying right now from Vaikanze to India. I know that because I'm in touch with him. So you, you are not with it, Gujarati. Queen e5, he says. Lucky Verma, Queen e5. Mayur Gondalekar says Queen e5. And I'm very excited right now because I think there's only one person who's been able to tell me the right answer, Ashutosh Agarwal. And even he has not really said the notation correctly. He says knight e5. So what I played here was knight into d5. I took the knight, and I've written down in my analysis, and I would like to read it out. I said I liked my solution here. This is again my football theorem. So I'm going to talk about the football theorem. I have maybe spoken it in the past, but it's worth remembering that when you're playing a football game, if there are say 11 players on each side and you remove one of them, 11 versus 10 is an interesting game. Anyone can win. Take out one more from each side, 10 versus 9, again interesting. Keep doing that, you reach 4 versus 3. Suddenly it becomes 4 is much stronger. Then you bring 3 versus 2. This is really huge advantage. And finally you come to 2 versus 1 and you're like, oh my god, there's no way the one person can beat these two guys because one is defending, one is attacking. So in that way, you can say that knight, this guy is active, this guy is active. While I have, let's say, 1, 2, 3 guys active, I exchange his attacking pieces and then I play bishop c6. And I'm going to quickly play e6. I'm going to get my bishop out, and you will see these guys are just inside. So in football terms, although I exchanged 2 pieces, I'm down in material, I'm behind in material, I shouldn't be exchanging pieces. Yet I did it because of this reason, to exchange his active pieces. I hope that this is something new that you learned. Okay, Suyog Wag has contributed 20 rupees. Suyog, thank you so much. Again, a very good player of Indian chess. Again, one of those players who I have interviewed on Chess Base India channel. You can type his name, Suyog Wag, Chess Base India. He's rated around 2300. Very positionally strong player. And again, I met him yesterday in the Pune tournament. Suyog, thank you for attending this lecture here. Okay, so knight d5, queen d5, and bishop c6. The point is you cannot take on c4 because of queen e5 check. And a very cute mate is bishop a4. Not a mate, you have to lose your queen. So queen d4 was played by Luke Henris. I could see that he was getting flustered, you know. I cannot develop my pieces, what the hell. Played b5. Now I really love my structure, you know, getting stronger by the day. He played a4. Now it's already too late to sacrifice a piece because you can see this bishop is already hitting here. So it had become too late now. So although there is a variation, takes, short castle, e5, bd6, which I think black is doing very well in this position. So he played a4, I played e5, again developing quickly, queen e3, a6, keeping my beautiful pawn chain intact. I like making that color. f3 in order to play g3, bishop g2. I develop my piece, g3 and short castles. So if we do Silman's imbalance method, you will realize that I'm materially down, I'm doing horribly. I have only a pawn for a piece. But look at these pieces, they are like monsters, they are beautiful. Queen will come up, rook will join in. Sorry, rook will come to e8. I'll play f5, I'll play e4. You know, it's what the pieces can do that is more important than just having those pieces on the board. So the quality of my piece is just superior. bg2, and here I played a very nice move. I would like the viewers to try to find out what I would do. There are many ways to play. Of course, it's already better position, but let's see if you can play the same move that I played. Black to play in this position. Okay, Tanmay Srinath was here. Tanmay has had asked a question, but he's left. He's one of our very ardent supporters. He's analyzed games for Chess Base India. Thanks a lot, Tanmay, for all that you do for Chess Base India and Indian chess. Suyog Wag has been asked a question by Nikhil Dixit to strong players. He says how to improve the endgame. So Suyog, if you get time, do write it down. We could share it with our viewers. How to improve in endgame. Okay, so Sanjeev Gunin says f5, Subhankar Das says queen b7, Pradeep Kanetkar e4, Bhola Das says f5, e4, Pranav Vaidya says f5, SFL official f4, Akshit Jha says rook a7, creative, huh? Just be careful about ab5 and then not hanging the rook here because the queen is also there, but it's a possibility. Shant Kumar says f4, f5 is the move. Ritvik wants to play queen b7. I'm very surprised that very few people are able to guess my moves. Mahesh Khaleja has said bishop c7, and that's the move. Bishop c7. Well done, Mahesh. You found the right move. Bishop c7 is what I played, and essentially I'm stopping him from castling. The bishop will come to b6 and just skewer the queen. So in the game he played the move which I shuddered when he played it. He played the move a5, and if chess pieces could talk, then these three pieces here would be saying to that guy, man, are you even listening to us? Look at what you have done to us. You have shut us all in. Knight comes to a3, but then can't go anywhere. Bishop goes to a3, but it's blocked. Rook cannot come out. So it was not a good decision. It was like rot in hell for the rest of your life. I'm going to close you guys. a5. And now the end was very quick. Queen b7. I brought bishop b8. You see, the bishop can still go to a7, and there is no pawn which can come to how do you call it, a z6 perhaps. Yeah, so he played king h1, bishop a7, queen went up. I played e4, queen f4, rook joined in. It was already all over. Bishop b8, and he resigned the game because after there's no space for the queen, has to go back, and after e into f3 he is losing the game. So rook e1. I mean, there were a lot of ways to win this position. Bishop f3 is also winning. So this is one of my favorite games. I have to say that the start of the game was not so great. I felt like I will lose this game, but I won it. It was a big boost for me. I was 2 out of 2 in this tournament. Then I went on to beat Vladimir Burmakin. I didn't lose a single game. I drew with 5 GMs, and I made my GM norm. Second GM norm. This was very nice. So I think this was one of my nice games. So guys, we're reaching 7 o'clock. I've promised my family over there that I will be coming out at 7 because I want to celebrate my birthday. But this is so important. I wanted to spend time with all the viewers to talk about chess, to talk about different things. There's one thing I want to say which might be a question in there and I might not have covered. Many people ask me, what is a good coach? How can we get a good coach in chess? And my general belief, and for every player and parent, I usually say, is that a good coach need not be a very strong player. A good coach can bring out your talents if he can understand you, if he has the knowledge of the game, and he's ready to work hard for you if he's dedicated for you. For example, I would say take the example of Mark Dvoretsky. He is one of world's best coaches, yet he's not even a GM, but he's trained guys like Anand, Yusupov, you name any top player, Topalov, they've all gone to him and trained with him because he works so hard. He has this chess knowledge. Uh, in Indian chess itself, we have so many examples. We have coaches like Murli Krishna Gangaraju. I think he was there in the chat. He's the coach of Lalit Babu, and I don't think he's an IM or a GM, but he's training him and he's made him a national champion, Open national champion. You have Raju, who is coach of Harika, and he's created Harika and made her one of the top players in our country, not an IM or a GM. You have Vishweshwaran, who's created multiple national champions. Some point had 2 or 3 players in the Indian team as his students in the Indian Olympiad team. So a coach needs to be dedicated, a coach has to be ready to give time, and you have to be patient with the coach. If you can do these things, then any coach can, create magic. And that's what I want to say, that don't get stuck in this rut of changing your coaches all the time. Chess improvement happens when there is hard work involved and when you have a good team working together. And I find this a big question amongst people who say, I just can't find the right coach. Well, I can't really name people right now, but if you write to chessbaseindia at gmail, I would like to guide you to some of the coaches who I think are good and to help you, because I don't want to be promoting coaches over here, but I definitely want you guys to be learning from the right sort of people. And one very important thing is coaching in chess helps. I didn't have a coach for many years, and to learn things from books and all was very useful. I can now give these lectures very well because I put my head into it. But if I would have a coach, I could have learned it faster, a good coach. So that way, coach is very important. Let me see if I can take some some questions. I think we should be Mango Buddhi. I'm just going to the last question, who says, I really wish you start playing seriously again and become a grandmaster. Have you considered writing a book? I would love to read it. Okay, I'll tell you a secret of mine. I want to write a book on my games. My fear is who wants to read it. Yeah, so these are my games, but I think what I can do with my games is I can really explain it very well. I don't know if there is a audience for it. Maybe there is a book or a DVD, either of the two. I am also quite proud of my Learn from the Classics DVD, which you can buy from the Chess Base India shop. I created it around 2.5 or 3 years ago. It's about all classics that you can learn. And recently Nisha Mohota, who's an IM and a strong player, wrote in her blog saying it's a good DVD to read, so to learn from. So yeah, I would say yes, I will definitely consider it. Also very keen that at some point I can collaborate with some great players like Anand or Short, or because Short wanted to write a book of his best games, something like that. And I could come together with these great players and try to make a good book out of it. For example, something what Jakob Agard did with Boris Gelfand. If something like that can come up, then that could be useful. Let's see if I can do that. Okay, so guys, I have to call it a day here. We have had around 100 people watching it live. Sometimes it went to 150 as well. It's wonderful to know. Also, a lot of people would be watching it later on. And I'm so very proud about one fact, and I need to share it with you because here I'm talking with all of you. Is that the Chess Base India YouTube channel? We started off somewhere around very seriously in 2017 September, which was the World Cup, and now it's what, 1 year 4 months, and I see it right now, it has 94,855 subscribers. We are reaching the 100K mark very soon. Maybe in a week's time we might cross 100K, and this is really big for Indian chess, I would say, with more than 2,000 videos that are there on this channel and this 100K followers. I'm sure it's going to grow and grow. I'm very proud that we have been able to create this, and this wouldn't have been possible without your support here. So I would thank each one of you for supporting the Chess Base India YouTube channel. You guys are great. Thanks so much for doing what you do, and thank you everyone for your birthday wishes. I'm 29 years old. I feel really old. People have started calling me uncle, and this hair is not so much there. Yeah, I'm married, so that's one tension less. But yeah, and Wapol says go to Sarvanan, yeah, and talk about books with him. Yes, I'll do that. I'll try to get Sarvanan and speak with him on the books. Before I sign off, I would like to say, first of all, thanks for joining in to Ask Sagar. I know that I couldn't do a very good job of covering all the questions, but I think I touched upon the most important ones here. Please join me again when I'll do this again, the Ask Sagar thing. The idea is that if you have a question, I want to give a genuine answer. I don't want to be promoting chess base. I don't want to be promoting any coach. I don't want to do this. I want to give you a right feedback that you can use and you can improve at chess. And finally, not this, I want to talk about these two talents, Visakh and Gukesh. Support them. These are two GMs. Visakh, I know his brother Vignesh. They both are. Visakh is already a GM. Vignesh has 2470 with 3 GM norms, and they come from a very humble background. And any money that you contribute here will be useful for them. But more than helping them as players like Gukesh or Visakh, the point is we are trying to recognize that becoming a GM is not at all easy. You need so much effort, and with your contribution we will be supporting them. All the money that you contribute here will be divided 50-50. So if you contribute 5,000 rupees, 2,500 goes to Visakh, 2,500 to Gukesh. If you contribute 10,000, then that would go to both of them. And by the way, for every there are 4 slabs: 1,000, 2,500, 5,000 and 10,000. You contribute on the link below, it's given in the description. Pay you money and you get something in return. For example, if you contribute 1,000, you get 3 months chess base premium account. If you contribute 2,500, you will get Learn from Classics DVD by Sagar Shah, none other than me. If you contribute 5,000 and then you send us your best game, I'll be making a video on it. And this is not just for because you contributed money. When I contributed my game to a lecturer named Jesse Cry, and he made a video out of it, I learned so much from it. I learned so many things, and I want to do something similar for all those who contribute 5,000. And if you contribute 10,000, you get a 30-minute Skype lesson on how to use chess-based softwares and to learn from that. So, well, as per your comfort, you can contribute, but just go and check it out. And lastly, thanks a lot everyone for being here, and see you soon in one more Ask Sagar lecture. I hope to do it every month.